Hello everybody and welcome back to another Minecraft video slash update. So I've kind of decided that because of a lot of things that are about to come up in my life, which I will talk about in a bit, I'm going to start using these Minecraft videos as sort of a update type series where, we just hang out and play Minecraft and I talk about my life and talk about what's going on with content and how everything all fits together. But before we get into all the juicy, yummy details of what's going on in my life, let me give you a quick update on what I kind of did. I didn't really do anything in between last episode and this one, except for I just did a little bit more resource gathering from the trees, but other than that it was pretty much exactly where I left it off. The main objective of this particular session was to at least start the villager center. So I just pre-designated this area a couple episodes ago at this point, I think, to be the villager area, and I needed to make it really neat and concise, but also in a way that'll keep the villagers happy, because we all know sometimes villagers can be very picky in Minecraft, but that's okay. So I go ahead and I made this bed. I don't remember exactly how many animals I had last time, but I do luckily have a nice little sheep and cow farm going on. And then later on I actually do expand a little more, so that will be very fun because it doesn't love animals. So yeah, here I am trying to figure out the best, most efficient way of putting this together. I was trying to remember the requirements for what a villager needed, and I was they need a bed and they need space to stand, and I'm pretty sure that's just that, because in this particular version of Minecraft, villagers were not dependent on the objects around them, but they were, just kind of randomized. Plus, on top of the way that the mods probably mixed them up a bit, it was very nice just being able to have a nice concise thing instead of having to make all the different blocks that did all the different professions. Y'all know what I'm talking about with these newer versions of Minecraft. But yeah, essentially I was doing this.
Yes, well, I mean, the creepers were a mistake. I defined I don't have any modeling programs to do the models, I just write them in code. And I accidentally made a tall instead of log, so it was a tall thing with 4 little feet. And that became the creeper. It was supposed to be a pig.
So yes, and then as we continue further, I'm here just trying to make sure that, when I plant the villager, ain't nobody going nowhere. Adding a little bit of fencing as decor, and then that little grass spot is where the seed will grow. So actually, you'll see pretty quickly here, I start running out of bones very fast because I'm trying to make a lot of bone meal so that I can speed up the whole process of this, getting a stack of corn, because it was 64 corn per one villager sapling, which in retrospect isn't really that much, but running out of bone meal, oh my gosh, it was stressing me out. Damn. But I actually got very lucky, because as you'll see in a second, once I cover this up, because I don't want my little villager running out. There we go. over that bad boy. Alright. You'll actually see right now when I do this, the villager seed is reharvestable. For some reason it wouldn't let me grow it there, so I had to come into the back and do it from this angle. I don't know why that was happening. I think the villager hitbox might have been in the way. Anyway, so there he is. He's in there now, and you'll see the seed is reharvestable.
Yeah, you get kind of used to it. It's like getting good at searching. It's very abstract. It's trying to describe things in a way that's easy to change. Yeah, I can do anything. We can make arrows explode when they're on the ground instead.
Okay. Now we're just kind of continuing to build. Thank God I had about 5 million bajillion stacks of wood while I was doing this, or else, you know, it would have been a little hard. But those trees, all those trees came in handy. I'm telling you that right now. Now that I have like a bunch of stuff I can build, and I definitely want to like expand and make the platform and our island a little more cohesive, I think. It's very interesting right now. But I mean, I don't hate the shape overall. I like it. I think that like the island is looking alright. Like I have everything I need, but I'm just like, okay, eventually I need to start expanding properly, or at least underneath or above, which I tried to do. Like the animals are above, and then I have some storage below. So here I am finally with the third little guy. This one did not become reharvestable, but that's okay. It's still, you know, I basically got, you know,
what you expect from a game. I'm trying to play around with those expectations.
I got lucky.
Kind of the most fun part.
It basically was like a buy two get one free situation.
Kind of fun. Let's give it a bigger explosion.
Don't ask me why I gave him a bunch of different color beds. I just thought it would be cute. I know it has nothing to do with the game, but I thought it would be cute. Just have like a little bit of customization for each one. This is when I really started running out of like bones and resources, and you'll see me probably go back a few times here because I was running out of bones, like for real. Like I was using all that shit so fast. But it's fine because later on we will also see that I expand the piggy farm to include a bone peg, which is wonderful. So pretty much the rest of this is just resource gathering. So now that I've talked a bit about what happened in the game and what's going on in this particular episode, we can start talking about me. Your favorite baka, your favorite raccoon. So, there's some good news, some bad news. Maybe not bad news, but just like some news about shit I'm going through that's not like amazing, but not like the worst in the world. Anyway, let's continue because I will just yap. So starting at the beginning of this year, I have a sick family member who's been sick for a long time. and their health and decline has been a very long and slow one. They are old, they have Alzheimer's and dementia, so anyone who's seen that kind of know how it goes. It's a long, slow, very grief-stricken process. Um, this family member was already kind of facing a pretty sharp decline in the last few months, but then they took a fall, and they don't know how she fell. They think it was out of her wheelchair, but anyway, it was really hard, and they basically told us, like, it could be soon, so get your affairs in order for when she passes. And this is one of the only family members I have that I genuinely believe is close to me, and was somebody that always stood up for me no matter what, even when other family members didn't. And so it's been very emotionally challenging to have to deal with it and to have to see it happen. I did get to go visit her the day after it happened. It was a pretty nasty fall, so that was really hard, and it's been pretty difficult on me and other members of my family. So that's just, in general, that's just kind of, it's just a lot of grief and mourning. I think just mostly a lot of grief. And grief is challenging, as we all know. I've been in and out of the doctors. I've been in and out of treatment. And so what we've decided, after a lot of appointments and assessments and talking to professionals, I am going into something called IOP, which is intensive outpatient care, for my mental health. I have spent the last few weeks deteriorating, trying not to, and doing my best to at least keep my physical body clean and safe and healthy. But it's kind of like all becoming to this boiling point, and I've been here before mentally, so I just know when certain things show up in my behaviors and in my symptoms, it means I need more care, more professional, intensive, settings for me to work through some scary things. For me, this will last, I think, 4 weeks. It'll be a month, and it is scary. I've never done IOP before. I've been in an inpatient, but I've never been an outpatient. So it's kind of like partial hospitalization, I guess, but it's focused on very specific things to help you get through very specific issues, so that you can pick yourself back up again and kind of learn those coping mechanisms and learn those strategies for more severe episodes, more severe situations, which mine is turning into quite a bit. So that's that. And so I just wanted to say that because there will probably be an announcement later, and I might end up needing to ask for emergency commissions, but I don't know yet. It just really depends on what's going on and how much the treatment will cost, and just overall, that's where I'm gonna be pretty soon. So things might slow down a bit while I'm there, but it's something that I know that I need to do, and something that I know that if I don't do, I'm just gonna stay stuck, if not get worse. And nobody wants that, especially somebody like me who has some pretty severe mental health issues, like BPD and DID and some other very intense things. Sometimes people like me just need a little extra structure, a little extra support, at least professionally, because you know, your friends and your family can really only handle so much, and I never want them to feel like it's their responsibility to take care of something that they are not qualified or trained to take care of. The last thing I ever want to do is make somebody feel like they have to be like my therapist and that they don't want to be around me because I treat them like they're supposed to be my therapist. I don't ever want to do that to anybody else, and I certainly would never want that to happen to my family or friends. So that's just kind of where I'm at, and I think that's something that's really hard. I know some people might sit there and say like, oh, but they're your family friends, they should. Yeah, but you also have to remember that we do literally have people who are trained professionals to deal with this, and I would rather have a trained professional help me manage my situation than my situation get much worse, and then it also creates a unsafe environment for my family or my fiance, who is my caretaker, when, you know, things are at my norm. So that's that with IOP treatment. And then another one is either late February or early March, I will be getting surgery that will basically render me out of commission to do pretty much anything for about a month. So I'm gonna go in for surgery, and it's going to be, the surgery itself isn't too crazy. It's a very quick one. Like, the doctor I think told me like 30 minutes to an hour max, but more around like 30 minutes. And then I go home after the procedure. But because of the nature of the procedure and where it is on my body, I'm not going to be able to really sit or stand or do a lot of like physical activity. I don't really think anybody who gets surgery is really cleared for physical activities for a while, but essentially I'm getting a chronic infection removed, and just the nature of it will basically be like, I'm not going to be able to sit or stand or put pressure in certain areas just because that's how it is. And so I will try to like have a bunch of videos stockpiled up so that, you know, there isn't like a gap of like one video or two videos here, and then it's like a month of me being gone, and then a couple videos, and then another month of me being gone. So yeah, I will do my best to make sure I have enough videos for, you know, the in-betweens of these procedures and these surgeries and treatments. And then just, you know, my overall health has been a bit of a struggle, so I just recently like raised one of my medications, and it's making me very drowsy, very tired. But if I don't have it, then, you know, the other side of not having those medications is worse. So, you know, you just gotta kind of deal with some of the side effects until your body gets used to it, you know, how everyone has to go through the medicine thing. But yeah, overall, you know, it's been alright. I've been just doing my best to be very like careful with myself, kind of gentle with myself, mentally preparing myself to go through some pretty big treatments and procedures this year. Like in general, after after the IOP and then after general surgery, I have to go get, those really massive psychological assessments done. Um, because me and my doctors. Actually, let me pause there. Let me give some context for this. I am now seeing somebody for DBT therapy. So I'm working specifically with a DBT therapist, and those kinds of therapists specialize in trauma work. People like me with BPD who have, repeated traumas and severe just issues going regarding all of that part of, being alive. So we've been working on that, and this is the first time I've ever worked with a care team, a therapist, and a psychologist, and a treatment facility. This is the first time I've ever worked with all three at once, and it's the first time I've ever worked with a care team that was specifically made for somebody that has issues like me, somebody who has very deep rooted, very chronic, very long-term trauma and PTSD and DID, PD, everything else. So that's what we have decided, which is to go get me psychologically tested. The last time I did this was in 2022. And so it's 2025, and usually when you get with new therapists, doctors, whatever, they always want to do an intake, a proper updated intake, which is normal. Like, I've been through this a million fucking times. So I'm gonna go in for testing, or they call it assessments. Essentially, I'm gonna go through a series of multi-hour tests and interviews with a psychological professional, and then from there they will test me for specific diagnoses. So because I'm such a weird mix of trauma and mental illness that we're all kind of trying to struggle to figure out what's going on with me, because what the fuck, we don't know how much of it is trauma and how much of it is mental illness. I don't know if that makes sense, because again, I don't want to be but I am a very complex person, and it's very difficult for me to do just about anything, actually, and which is why I'm going into outpatient, because I have found myself in a situation because of all these complexities, all these issues, all these symptoms and whatnot. It's just this is what we need to do in order to really pin it, really put a pinpoint in it, because I can't do anything. I can't work I can't hold down a job. I can't drive. I can't maintain healthy relationships without me having some issue or some symptom being triggered. I have a lot of things that will send me off or make me irritable or something, and then I have a lot of nightmares. I don't sleep well, I don't eat well. It's really, really bad. It's getting really bad. So specialized therapy and doctors plus specialized outpatient might just be what I need to kind of figure out exactly what internal stability looks like. Not wholeheartedly relying on the people around me to keep me in check, or not wholeheartedly relying on my medicine or my doctors to keep me in check. Just finding ways that I can live my life without these illnesses getting so much in the way. You know what I mean? Like, I genuinely can't do anything without an illness or a disability of mine getting in the way. It's literally consumed my entire fucking life. So, a bitch is going to treatment and then doing a bunch of things to get assessed, to figure out what exactly should me and my doctors be doing, what exactly diagnosis should I be looking at. We're pretty, solid on a few of them, but because of how rare and how intense they can be, they still want to do the testing, because you don't want to just diagnose somebody with very rare and painful disorders without being 100% sure, because some of them don't have a cure. Some of them are lifelong, and some of them do not go away. People can recover, and people can, get better, and I don't want to say move on, but like things like BPD or DID or whatever, a lot of the times they just don't go away. Even some other mental illnesses that aren't as rare or aren't as intense don't go away, like anxiety, depression, ADHD, addiction, like all that kind of stuff. It's all the same. You never really know, but when it comes to our brain, it's usually pretty permanent, So, yeah. And because mine is so consistent and bad and awful, they're like, well, we don't know how much of this is being caused by mental illness, and we don't know how much of this is being caused by trauma. So this year, in 2025, my brain is going to be ripped apart at the fucking seams. It's going to be unraveled, and it's going to be just poked and prodded and studied till we can figure out exactly what is wrong with me and exactly what trauma has been locked away into my brain, to a point that I'm existing, but I'm not living, if that makes sense. I've started to learn how to live, but I want to be able to do more than what I'm doing now. I want to get better, But yeah, let's speaking of better, let's talk about some of the better news. My model is being rigged. I'm so excited for that. My model was amazing. I'm doing... Oh, I just hit my microphone. I'm redoing all of my emotes, but there's going to be like a shit ton more, and they're going to be more high quality. Thank God. And the biggest one that I posted, I think like a week ago or a few days ago, I got a new desk, and it's fucking massive. And it is now officially set up for gaming, art, and, well, gaming and art is the biggest thing, but two separate types of gaming. I can now do both PC gaming and console gaming. And so, big surprise announcement, I will be doing a marathon of Sly Cooper on the PS2 once my model is officially done and I have everything set up and ready to go. Everything is going to be refreshed, brand new, and I'm very, very excited. I love Sly Cooper. I love the PlayStation 2. I think it is the best fucking console. Like, I'm not even fucking lying to you. PlayStation 2 is my favorite console of all fucking time. Pretty much almost all of my favorite games are on there. And Sly Cooper was the game that got me into video games. Like, got me so deeply into gaming and deeply into like the design and game development, and I really, really, really want to share with you all. It took me years to find Sly Cooper to buy. Years. I had looked for it for so long, and ain't nobody had nothing about Sly Cooper. But my fiance is amazing and he knows how to find stuff, and he bought me Sly Cooper 1, 2, and 3 as a gift. And I am so ready and excited to play with you all. Yeah. And in case you hadn't really noticed or guessed yet, my character is based a little bit off of Sly Cooper. So yeah, I'm so fucking excited. So overall, this year is gonna be a bit busy for me and a bit unpredictable at times, just because of the way that health and testing and treatment goes. But I do have some really fun things planned. I am so excited to play Sly Cooper, to play new games with you guys, and to just make 2025 really solid, really productive, and maybe even get a Fortnite creator code, or maybe even work with Marvel Rep. I don't know. Like those are my big dreams. Like work with Fortnite, work with Everwork. Anyway, and I have a video game. I'm making a video game too. It's gonna be an RPG, top-down pixel, called Shady Shenanigans. Anyway, love y'all. Bye.